Well, hi!
Hello again. Welcome back to
Another episode of Behind the Scenes with Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Yes, and
And a continuation
of our series here.
yeah, the series of Santa. And yeah, so.
And this is going to be an interesting one, whether you're looking for yourself at home or
Yes.
whether you're looking for your company.
Correct, yeah.
You know, a lot of corporations don't even have a clue where to look for Santas or
Correct.
that kind of thing, or they'll go around going, "Do you know anybody that plays Santa?" Well, there are places that can help you with that.
Yes.
And actually, what's good about those is you can really make an informed, educated decision.
Yes, you can.
And get the kind of Santa Claus you need.
Absolutely.
For your event, whether it's a home visit with the family, or whether you're putting on a whole corporate party, or
right,
or your annual Christmas party, whatever the case may be,
or neighborhood, Santa visit, whatever it may be.
Yes.
This really, everything we're going to say pertains to that. Whether you're just a family of 4 and want Santa to come, or
or you have a couple hundred people.
Couple hundred people at a corporate event.
I'm already booked for several corporate events that are going to have hundreds and possibly even thousands.
Well, and we're going to address that, which is don't wait. But this, and we've been Santa and Mrs. Claus for 23 years, and yeah, this is the first time we actually have received
multiple
requests for Santa. And so this is May, and
it actually started last month in April,
right?
And I've got like 4 or 5 things already put, and these are. When I say events, I'm talking about
these are major
multiple hours.
This is corporate right now.
Yeah,
this is all corporate events. Yeah.
But if I don't care if it's just a family of 3.
Yes.
Do not wait for December to try and book a Santa.
No.
You won't have any luck. And one of the reasons, and we talk about this all the time, you have to look at the calendar and think how many, especially if you're looking at a weekend, a Friday, Saturday,
or
Sunday. Mm-hmm. Do you realize that from the time Thanksgiving happens until Christmas Day, you only have like 4 weekends.
Maybe 5 if you're lucky.
Possibly, depending on how Thanksgiving falls.
When you're considering
but at the most,
that,
5.
So think about that, and if you have and certainly you would want a Santa that's good, which means that Santa's going to book up, because those weekends,
better Santas always book fast.
Are going to go really, really quickly.
I mean, I've got a couple already where I did an event with them previously.
Previously, correct.
And so they wanted to make sure they got me again.
That's right. You've already had 2 of those, and then we're looking at some brand new ones. But anyway, so why don't you give them some thoughts of where to find a Santa?
And before I do that, I'm going to suggest, think about what you want from Santa.
Yes, well, that's true.
I mean, is this just a quick, hour-long party at your house, and you're going to take some pictures and off he goes? Or do you want Santa to pass out presents? If it's a corporate event, is he going to be meeting with every family, and how many people are going to be involved with that?
Yeah.
Do you have special needs? As far as like special needs children.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
You have to be careful who you bring in to your home or your company.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
To allow the kids to enjoy the visit as much as you want them to.
Yes.
So, and these are all things you can actually find out if you go through an agency
Yes.
Or if you're looking at a Santa that has a good portfolio on their website and explains what their experiences are, where they've been trained, what they do. And these are actually pretty easily found out.
Yeah, and you just made a comment, and we're not going to go into it in a lot of depth, but actually there are various ways that people, men and women for Mrs. Claus, can learn how to be a Santa.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about that on the conventions, but there's actually Santa schools out there.
And we're going to delve into it. We're going to have a podcast just on training, and how to go about getting it and where to find it and that kind of thing.
But something to look for.
But yes, but absolutely, there's a lot of organizations that you can see that if a Santa belongs to it or has experience with that, that gives you a little better feeling for their experience.
He and or she have invested some time and money to learn the craft. So something to keep in mind.
As Mary mentioned, we've been doing this 23 years. I've even taught classes.
Yes.
So but getting back to where to find them and how to find them, there are several agencies that you can start out with.
Yeah.
Now, and I belong to each of the ones I'm going to mention. That doesn't mean that's the only ones.
No.
But they're the ones I'm most familiar with, and I know you can get a lot of information from these agencies.
And some of these are cross country, so they're
and
not
the other
local.
thing is they all require Santas to have a background check.
Yes.
Or Mrs. Claus.
Yes, that's true. That's true. If you're going to do it.
Again, you want to make sure you're hiring a safe Santa.
Yes, that is correct.
Not just somebody off the street that puts on a suit a couple weekends to try and make money at it. You want somebody that knows what they're doing. So, anyway, starting out with, I think probably my top would be gig salad. Don't you think? Yeah.
Well, that's we started actually using them and with a lot of success on both sides actually. So we've gotten some great venues on that, and they're very good. They have a very thorough website. Yes.
You can see pictures if the person posts pictures of different events they've been at, or different costumes. That's the other thing.
Yes.
Depending on the look you're looking for, if you want a more traditional Santa with the fur down the front and the belt around, or if you're looking more for like a Coca-Cola Santa or
and certainly a Santa should have several pictures. I mean, and I know ourselves that we've been asked, do you have any pictures? And it's like, well, several thousand.
Yeah, how many?
But this truly is a way to what you see is what you get.
Yes.
So you look at these pictures, and that is going to be obviously
indicative of
the representation of
who's going to show up.
Yeah, who you're hiring. So,
exactly. Yeah.
If he doesn't have a picture, I think I would be.
Or if he only has one picture.
Yeah, that might be kind of a. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That could be. Be careful. Then the second one I would say would be, actually second and third. There are two. There's Santa for hire, and that's all like one word squished together. Or Hire Santa.
Yes.
And both of those are good organizations. They're national.
Yes.
They're everywhere. You can find Santas all over the place. And speaking of, let me throw this out there too. When you're looking for a Santa, I mean, you want a Santa that's going to be somewhat close to your vicinity.
Yes.
They aren't going to travel 2 hours or more for an hour visit or an hour event.
No.
That doesn't make sense. And, nowadays with the price of gas and everything else, but it's more a matter of time. Here again, we have a limited window in those 4 to 5 weeks of making, and doing as much as we possibly can.
Well, and that's true, and to be,
So if you're driving 2 hours out and
4
2
hours
hours
just
back,
for driving,
yeah,
and you're just there for an hour, most times you're gonna find that
they're not gonna be interested.
We wouldn't,
So,
that would be too short of a time frame.
And the other thing is, and I'm just gonna address this briefly, but, if a Santa is charging $150, $200, $250 an hour,
yes,
that's also an indicator.
Yeah.
You're going to get a top flight Santa Claus who knows how to work with kids, maybe bringing Mrs. Claus with them to help, which does a wonder with crowds. I mean, she just takes care of everything, and that allows me time to visit with each kid for the maximum amount of time and experience for them. But
well, and I think one of the things you have to consider, and you might think, oh wow, that's a lot of money, but it's really not, because one of the things, again, you're talking about an individual who more often than not has spent some time and money on education, certainly a lot of money on the costumes, their outfits. Then there's certainly the time and money to just travel to and from, and then your experience. Exactly. All of those things are valuable, and it's a time that you builds up. I mean, certainly when we started your career, you weren't charging that much right off the bat.
No,
because you were.
But I wasn't getting the more important events.
No, but so you're paying for the experience and the education and all of that. So think about that when
you don't want a Santa Claus who's going to tell your kids that yes, Rudolph's nose is red because he swallowed a light bulb. I mean, that's not believable, and the child isn't going to believe it.
That's right. That's right.
And certainly, most are going to look for a real bearded Santa. And I'm not going to get into the pros and cons of a real versus an artificial beard, at least not here.
No.
That's for a future podcast.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a real bearded Santa, one that looks like Santa all the time,
right?
Then you're going to be paying a little more than somebody who just puts on a fake beard and a wig and walks in and goes, "Here I am." True. Yeah. So there's several things. I mean, again, and not to bring up details, but just getting a Santa suit cleaned now will cost you $100.
Yes. And you have to be very careful.
And you have to be extremely careful who does it.
Yes. Yes, because
we've lost some pieces.
Yes, and a lot of Santas have had some problems
horror
with
stories. Yes.
But so I think that a couple of key points is you certainly want to really do a little research if possible into this Santa and get some information. Even if you're going through an agent, the agent should be able to send you a synopsis, a short synopsis maybe of who the Santa is, some pictures. So, and you make sure you ask for it, because that's what you want to know.
And then the other place you can look at is every state now just about has Santa associations.
Yes, they do.
And you can find, and they can refer you to Santas in your area.
Yeah.
So, you could check that out.
I mean, I think that, and you could put, like Tennessee Santas, California Santas, Alabama Santas, whatever, wherever you might be.
You could do it by city.
If it's a big city, you could do it that way too.
Atlanta Santas and Chicago Santas, and exactly.
And then when, we talked a little bit about booking, the earlier the better. I know this again we said was really early, which is true, but we used to get, especially on a repeat visits from customers, it was pretty much in June and July.
Yes.
So that's,
they knew if
so,
they waited
so
past
truly don't
June.
wait. Don't say, well, if I don't
Oh,
do it,
for gosh sakes, that's 6 months off.
if I don't do it in November, then maybe I'll do it in October. Well, again, yeah, maybe not. I mean, you might have luck if you're doing a midweek visit. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
But if you're certainly looking at a weekend, you got to push back far.
I mean, there's a lot of Santas that do commercial work and that kind of thing, and commercials are being shot
now.
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah.
That's
true.
So and then as you get closer and closer to Christmas, it just kind of builds.
Escalates from there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, imagine trying to walk into a restaurant on Mother's Day and just sit down at a table.
Yeah.
Unless you've made a specific reservations
you're not
gonna have a time, you aren't going to have any luck. You're going to be waiting a long time. Well, same thing with the Santa. You're not going to get a good Santa, or you're not going to get the best time that you want or the best day. So keep that in mind and book early. It's not a big problem.
So we hope, as we've been doing these series, we hope this really is valuable information for you. And again, if you have any questions about what we've said or haven't said, maybe you have a specific something that we haven't discussed, just put it on the comments, and we'll
address it.
Always get right back to you.
Yeah, so. I mean, we know. Here again, we've been involved. We've gone to a lot of Santa luncheons. We've gone to a lot of worked with a lot of companies. I've worked with photo companies and
one of the things too that we didn't really say, but also if you're involved in a charity, same thing holds that you still, if you want a particular Santa, you need to book them early. Otherwise, again, you're going to be sitting there with your charity with maybe not so great of a
and
Santa.
If you're looking for a Santa at no cost, I mean, again, keep in mind, that Santa has expenses. And they're going to be very, very particular and choosy on which nonprofits they have.
Correct.
So if you're just one of those that are just thinking of being a nonprofit or trying to pass yourself off on one, don't plan on getting a very good Santa because, but
many will come down and and I know we do, depending upon a charitable event. We vary our prices, and we also have done some where we don't charge. So it all kind of depends upon the event and the Santa. But anyway.
Well, I think that pretty well covers that.
So we hope you enjoyed this the series and this particular episode. And of course, a little note that we do this on the 10th and the 24th of the month.
Of every month.
And so look forward to seeing you on the next round.
What do you bet this thing gets the most views in October and November? And they're going, oh my God, I'm already too late. Oh.
I missed it. I missed it.
And you will be. But,
Okay.
But thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
All righty. Bye-bye.